Wait a minute. Don't say nothing, Molina. Did you get this technology set up?
I
Let
mean,
me hear. Oh, it works.
if they can hear me, then I may have been successful. Now,
No way.
the duration in which it's gonna last is a whole other bet we can go and make because I'm not sure we're gonna be able to sustain. But so far,
This is
right?
crazy. This is great. Little Chris is already in here. Let us know if you can
Yeah,
hear us and see us okay, guys. Uh, okay. Cornelius Wilkins Jr., he can hear us.
it's my
I
man
think
out
he's
of
a big,
DC area. I
yeah,
think he's somewhere.
I think he's in the
He likes one
Carolinas.
pocket.
One
Yeah,
PKT supporter.
he does. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the whole question was, we got you a bunch of gear, we got you that backdrop. You
Allegedly.
just you just went out on your own, went to the Super Billiards Expo, and I'm like, how is this guy gonna do it? And you got it set up. So you
Like
did
my
it.
man Dom would say, because he would say, "I'm flying." That's what Dom tells me all the time. When he and the way in which he says it is, he's flying when he makes bets on his own, and then he gets himself in trouble. So here, 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 I'm flying, and I'm getting me in trouble. So, but yeah,
Mm.
I think we finally got everything set up. I think the audio's okay. I think the internet's okay. Hopefully, so we're still
Are you
making
on their
some
internet or are you on your phone?
on theirs. So
Cool. Well, this ain't
upload
bad.
speed. We're gonna play with it some. So we'll see.
Hey, it's expensive in those convention centers. So
Right.
thanks for kicking up a little cheese for that. So, Mike, what is going on out there? It's your second full day out there, I guess. I know
I
you've
don't know
been
that I
running
quite
around.
consider it my second because I don't really count yesterday. It was more of just it's a lot of like being a politician, man. You come out here, you shake hands, hello. I
Kiss
tell you what
babies.
though, dude. Yeah, taking pictures and stuff. Not really though, but I tell you what, man. The feedback from everyone's been phenomenal, Joey, and it's just picking up right where we left off in Vegas. Just everybody with a lot of positive things to go and say and appreciation for everything we're doing, which is great. Are you going to set up? Are you going to do this? Well, we're trying. So and we finally went and accomplished it. We finally got it going. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. Dude, there's so many people here. This is actually the busiest day from what I've heard from other vendors and compared to yesterday. So a lot of
I want to
optimism
know
right
who's
now.
going to sit in that empty chair right next to you. Who can we talk to there? Who you planning on getting there?
Yeah. So we're gonna go and get Nick in. Not really. I hope we don't get Nick in. We're gonna, but Nick volunteered to come in. He said, "I got you. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "When did I ask, homie?" But no, we're gonna try to get him in. I don't know. I mean, like everybody and anybody, dude. So
Careful, man.
um,
He's your ride over to that place. Better not mess that up.
actually, he was this morning, dude. He's the one who got me over here. Me and Adrian Prasad, which actually Adrian, we will go and get in because that's my roomie for the next week, man. Yeah, kid's still going to school
Did
full
his
time,
parents
man.
know he's rooming with you?
Dude, what do you mean, man?
Talk about
Yeah,
bad
dude.
influences.
No, man, it don't get
Hey,
no
let me tell you
better.
something. You know how I failed as a parent? Let me tell you how I failed as a parent. When we came back from Vegas, I packed up all the 1PKT gear and I had a Molina Mike hat in there. And my son, my 10-year-old, comes into my office today and he sees the Molina Mike hat. He's like, Dad, can I have that hat? And I was like, I failed as a parent.
Dude, my man. I need a photo ASAP, man. Yeah.
I'm
That's
not paying
exciting.
you for it,
That's
Mike. Forget
exciting stuff. Hey Mike, how are you, buddy? Thanks for the
it.
backdrop. Mike Lear of Bull Carbon, man. I just walked by. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Send the photo of the kid in the hat, dude. We
Well,
need that kind
he's
of
got to
stuff.
get his hair braided first. You know, he's got that big poofy hair. But yeah, so Mike, I've been looking through the brackets. Not a whole lot going on since that first kind of series of matches, and I heard a bunch of players post that yeah, I played my first match and I don't play again until Friday. So it looks like I guess because of the turnout, they've had a little bit of downtime. So what are you noticing the pro players doing there, kind of trying to
I
get
don't
ready
know.
for tomorrow?
Hanging out. It seems
Yeah.
like a lot of hanging out over here. Yeah, the matches are spread out pretty thinly, because of doing the 128 player bracket. They want to spread it out over X amount of days, all that fun stuff. But I guess we're all making the best of it. Like I got to sweat some of Eric Roberts earlier, one of our sponsored players, which was cool. He ended up sneaking by his match, and funny enough, because I showed up and the kid's up like 3-1, right, and then it ends up being 4-3 the other guy, and I said I'm getting the hell out of here because I am bad luck. As soon as I walk up, this kid loses 3 in a row, but he ended up taking it down 9-6, so we're happy about that. But yeah, I mean they're spread out throughout the day. I think the decent matchup tonight's going to be Christina and Lucas, which we talked about a little bit yesterday, and I'm looking forward to it. And so is my wallet, hopefully. But yesterday it was a little bit thinner when it comes to vendors, but now I think today is like the actual day when everybody's supposed to be here and everybody seems to be here. Everybody's set up and just peppered throughout the whole, like, I don't know what you call this thing, hangar they got here. You know,
Yeah, actually, there's a pretty good match going on right now, Mike. My buddy Kevin West from Delaware, he's playing Rob Saez. He's down 6-2. I had Kevin on Pool Player Podcast. I don't know if you caught that episode,
Kevin's
but
down to
yeah,
Rob.
Kevin's down six
Okay,
to two, and he's a heck of a player. But he's also diabetic. He talked about his challenges with that and how sometimes if the food isn't right and everything, it can really cause some problems that the average player won't face. But a heck of a guy, and seems to be a little bit behind here. He's got some ground to make up in that race to 9 with Rob Saez.
Corby says they encourage players to stream their matches if they were not on TV. Then once matches and streams were going, they came back and told them to shut it down. Yeah. Oh, that's W. I
Is
don't.
that the
I don't.
women's?
I guess
Corby,
so.
is that the women's matches or the men's?
I don't, yeah. I
So
get
so
it,
let's
man. They
talk a
want to
little
go
bit
on.
about that, Mike, because we got
Dude,
we
listen, man. I get myself trouble with WPBA, and now you're just trying to set it up for me and just get me even more trouble. Go ahead, ask the question. Come on,
well,
let's
no,
see.
no, no. I'm
What
just
trouble
looking
am I
at
going to get into?
they end up getting, it looks like 63 players or so for the ladies
I
event.
think they had a field. Yeah, pretty close to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're starting to get a little choppy, Mike. I don't know about that
Am
internet
I?
there. Yeah, but yeah, I was looking through some of the ladies' matchups, and right at the top again, Kelly Fisher, I guess because it's seated. She's got to be the favorite again. She's just on a tear right now, blowing through everybody. But some other good matchups. Ashley Burrows and Sarah Rousey are going to be playing.
That'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, Emily Duddy's in this
I think I saw
event.
Ashley Bros was playing like Kelly Mayman, the junior player. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, but
Yeah, Kavanaugh, Kelly Kavanaugh.
no, I saw
Looks,
Kelly Kavanaugh was playing whenever Eric Roberts was playing because she was right next to it. So I
yeah,
was sweating
she
a little bit
won
of that
Hill
match.
Hill, and now she's going to play Emily. They're playing in the second round. And Allison Fisher's in action right now against Judy Wilson, up 4-0.
Dude, listen, that girl, that lady, excuse me, the MBE, she's like,
Let's be
I don't care.
respectful, Mike.
I don't care what she asks for. She sounds awesome when she talks, dude. Like I was in the JAMA booth earlier, and she's like, "Can I get some water?" And I was like, "You can get whatever you want, man. Whatever you need, we're gonna take care of it." You know,
Uh,
she's a champion, man, and she's super polite. So,
she's like kind of bigger than life. When I saw her out in Vegas, it's like there's not many people that I'm kind of afraid to walk up to and say hi.
oh,
And
I'm
she's
intimidated.
a little intimidating.
Intimidated.
Yeah.
I remember when we were at the Texas Open. So Dom showed up there, of course, thanks to Jen. And I told Allison, I said, "Listen, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go ask my boy Dom for an autograph, and I will pay you for it. I will compensate you for your time, and I'm gonna go and film it because I want to see Dom's face whenever she goes and asks for the autograph." And she didn't miss a beat. She said, who, who the hell is Dominic Dunn?" And her great attitude, she obliged. So and she's sponsored by Jam Up and Damien and them, which they're here, they're doing great. I tell you what, man, the besides the Predator booth, the big buzz that I always see up front, man, is right around Jason's booth, like all the time. He's got a
Really?
crowd there, like deep, man. I mean, deep. He's playing people all the time. They got on board that's there right next to him, or actually sharing the same booth with them. It's a really great space, makes for a great atmosphere. We're at towards the back area, but you know what I like is that we get a view of the amateurs back here, and it's a little bit more peaceful, a little more quiet. We can do our thing, and we got a lot of exciting things planned over the next few days, including today. So
Yeah.
I've literally just had power here for maybe 20 minutes, and here we are. We already made it. We're already live. So
That's cool. Well, I'm going through looking at these brackets. There's a couple more matches I want to point out. The young player Skylar Hess, I think she's from Maryland, taking on Kim Newson. She's actually up 3-2, and Savannah Easton's in action. She's trailing 2-0 against Ada Leo right now. Great to see Savannah make that trip east and test herself against this field. Jennifer Beretta is going to be coming up soon. Chanel Lorraine, always a fan favorite there. Janet Atwell, strong player. She's in this event.
How do you
Dawn
say her name?
Hopkins.
Janet.
Janet. That's what I said.
That's not why you said it.
Jeanette.
I
Sorry.
swear, you get like you say names the most odd of any person I've
Janet.
ever
No,
met.
it is
No,
Janet.
that's not how you said that. Yeah, Janet is right. That's what I just said. That's not what
Yeah,
you just
that's what I
said
said.
though.
Really?
Rewind the tape. You said it really Marseille like.
Nobody
That's
would have
all I'm gonna
noticed
say,
until you did this whole
dude. Because it
segment
puts
on it.
me on instant tilt, dude.
Hey, check
Instant
this
tilt.
out. Dawn Hopkins playing Kaylee McIntosh. That should
That'll
be
be
a
a good
good match
matchup.
there.
Kelly plays great. I actually seen her walking around. I've never met her before, but she's one of the few players that I want to go and introduce myself to, and maybe get her on. And Joey doesn't know this, but we're going to try to do a lot of interviews with juniors in the next few days as well. So,
Yeah, we got to get him out of their shell. Get him to talk a little more.
dude,
This is
it
great
cannot.
exposure for him.
I listen. I don't want to go and put anybody out there, Joey. Okay, I don't want to put anyone on blast. Okay, but there was a certain Vegas was a little trying, with some of these one word answers, and we can't fade it, man. We got to bring out some personality. We got to go and bring who they are out to where people can get to know them, people can support them, people can see what kind of person they are. So that's why we're here, and really just try to bring the experience of the expo to you guys. Actually, in my site here, I can see April Larson's playing someone on the amateur side, which is kind of surprising. She ought to be
You should
playing in the
stream that, Mike.
WPA.
You should stream that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go
Hey,
do it like right in the middle of it.
I know somebody that you should get in that seat right there. She's in the tournament too. Lori John. Can you get her in there?
He's got jokes. We saw her in Vegas, and she did this number here, and
Yeah.
after the last interview we had, I don't know how inclined she would be to be on, but the door is always open, and it would definitely make for an interesting conversation to be had again. I think so anyway. So
if she don't beat you over the head. Hey, let's put the chat up. Let's
No
see what people have to say here. We'll have to come and make sure we're centered here. But guys, we're putting up the chat. There's a lot of good comments in here already, Mike. There's some that people are talking about, like how proud they are of you for being able to plug in a microphone and headphones.
It's rough, dude. Rough.
Yeah. And so other people are
Baby
talking
steps.
about how they're proud of me for being on the show 2 days in a row. They just
Dude,
don't
I'm
know it
telling
happens to be my lunch break. I was able to sneak away. Brian Murphy says, Mike, get over to the ACAQ of the year booth and vote for number 3, Patriotic USA
Okay,
Q.
I'll tell you what, I did go and see because I took a tour of Pat's booth today, and I noticed the Q wasn't there. But then I noticed that the Q ACA booth with all the Q makers of the year is actually up now, and I was taking some photos, but it was very packed in there. So, but I will be taking some more photos and hopefully going live there as well. I tell you what, dude, and I've seen a lot of Qs. I mean, just the other day, I think I saw some guy buy like a Q for like 40 grand. 40 grand.
The first time, Mike, the first time I ever saw like a really expensive Q was at Super Billiards Expo. I remember thinking like expensive Qs were like a $2,000 Timmy Scruggs, because I was just starting to play. And I remember going up there and saw a $60,000 Q one year, and I'm like, wow, like I couldn't even put my head around that. Like, how's somebody going to buy a 60,000? And do you even play with it?
Dude, the guy, so the buyer, he came and introduced himself. Great guy. I'm not going to say who he is, but and then he was like, Mike, check this out. Check out what I just got. And he pulls out this Ron Thomas case with alligator, gnarly case by itself. And I'm holding it, and it's a lot of work, and it's a Zamboni, and I'm just like, holy cow! And I know it's a monster. Like, I didn't know to what extent it was a monster, but I knew it was a monster. And yeah, as I'm holding it in my hand, that's whenever the price comes out, and I'm like, holy, that's expensive.
Don't
and
drop it.
I said, get it the hell out of my hands now, because I don't want that liability to be on my shoulders, So, but it was pretty cool, and it's just part of like the things you go and see out here, man. I tell you, like those Qs of the year, going back to that, all nuts, man, all nuts. So I'll go live here whenever it kind of like dies down, because it was really thick over there earlier of just people going in all, and you'll be able to see why, because some of those work from these masters are just incredible. I mean, Mike, and I've seen a lot of Qs, man.
The fans, people are even chiming in here. They want to know when you're going to tweet, man. We got to get the Twitter thing going.
I was on Twitter fire yesterday for like
get out of here.
a solid like 3 minutes. I was tweeting I was tweeting
I've
my
been
butt off.
tweeting. I've been making believe I'm Mike and tweeting just so you guys have some content. Like this picture today from the expo, that was my tweet. Okay, because Mike apparently doesn't know how to tweet, but we got people in here talking about you tweeting. They want you to update them. Like it's a quick
Dude,
way, 160 characters. Get them
dude, when
updated
I'm
quickly.
okay, dude. Listen, I'll tell you what else happened. So, okay, you
Hold
almost
on,
got
hold
me.
on.
You almost got me
Okay.
kicked out of here. Go ahead, go ahead. I'll tell you. I'm just telling you my story.
Well, no, I'm just Patrick Neal has a comment in here. He's talking about how he likes Lori John in a cage match with you.
I do too. Where can I
Heard that?
bet?
Yeah,
The window.
yeah.
Listen, the window would be wide open on me betting on Lord John too. I don't.
Rear naked
Listen,
choking. You're
I,
out, son. You're just
dude, she
out.
looks. I mean, she looks a little mean. You know, look a little mean. Not to you, but whenever I was involved, it got got a
Let
little
me talk
dicey
to
there.
trash this time because I'm thousands of miles away. My buddy Joe Wright in here. I hope you get to meet him out there, Mike. Look around for him. Joe Wright, if you're still listening, check out Molina Mike. He's out at one of the booths there. But I hope you get to meet him. He's my buddy from Baltimore. We've been coming to this event for decades together. Not together, but we'd see each other up there and hang out and stuff. And he's a good player. And yeah, I want you to meet the guy. Big dude. Don't mess with him. Don't cross him. You think Larry John's tough? He'll mess you up.
Oh, I can handle the big guys. I can go and handle that lady though. I don't listen. I'm gonna need to call in Tina to go and deal with that because I can't. I can't. It's a little rough. But you know what? We're doing our best here. We're not here to make enemies. We're here to make friends. That's what we're here for. And you know, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, man. So we may be going live off of the Super Bears Expo page as well, talking about them adding us on an admin. So if you guys have those notifications on, please do. And I will be posting a bunch of pictures and
Oh, really?
video clips and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I forgot. I should have told you that off air, but yeah, that's
You should have
happening
had
too.
him give you access to their Twitter account.
Dude, I can only handle one Twitter at a time. I can't
You
even
can't
fade
even
one
handle
Twitter. I
that.
can't even handle one Twitter at a time. Oh, so
Hey,
that's
how
what I
did
was
I
gonna go
almost
and tell
get you
you,
kicked out? Yeah.
dude. Listen, so I'm there, right? And what I tell you I was gonna go do after we got off the air. I said I'm gonna go sweat the end of what was the matchup? Oh, the one I was tweeting
Oh,
about, BJ
BJ.
Ussery and
Yeah.
Stephen Holm, right? So
Yeah.
I'm there, and
You went
and
live and somebody
no,
booted
no,
you.
no, no, no. So I'm there, and I have Twitter up, which I've probably only opened up maybe a dozen times in my entire life. Nick's right next to me, and I'm like, Nick, what do I do to actually tweet? Like, I got something. I think I got some gold here, right? That I actually want to do. Anyway, so I finally get the hang of it, right? When it comes to putting in the characters and typing and first finding that platform on there to go and do it on. And then I said, oh, you can put a picture on here? I didn't even know, right? Because I'm learning as those, few minutes went by.
And video like this one right now on Twitter, by the way.
See, I'm learning. But here's the deal. I turned on the camera and the flash came on, you donkey,
God.
at a
Rookie
pool event.
move.
Dude, that's
Rookie
like
move.
rule number one. You
Who
do not
does that?
have, you don't, and if you've ever been in the pro arena at the Super Bears Expo, you know that it's dark in there. So
Don't.
I mean, I was like mortified.
God,
I'm
I wish you would have done
mortified.
that to
I tell you what.
Strickland when he was playing.
Oh, could you imagine?
He
Instantly
would have
kicked out.
blasted you. He would have
Quickly.
blasted you.
Quickly. I'm out of there. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, man, you can do all kinds of stuff with Twitter. You got to start doing it. Let me tell you, our Twitter following is now
Dude,
up to 31 followers.
we were at
31.
listen, we were at I wish I had those numbers when I
I'm
went
going
to
to
this
type it
very
in
important meeting this morning because I should have said, listen, we're
for
multiplying by the
sponsorship.
hundreds. Yeah. We're multiplying by the thousands in percentage, and we really wouldn't have been lying, So
Let me tell
yeah.
you. Look, we just started it the other day and we had 0 followers when we did our show the other day. And now we're up to
What I want to
31
know is
followers on Twitter
what is
at
going
Doggin
on in
Show.
those 30 people's lives where they decided I'm going to go and follow that show on our show on Twitter. But we're going to try to get some good content on there too. Patrick Neal asked who won Usry and Holm. It was pretty sick. BJ ended up winning, but yeah, Steven had a chance, or BJ run out to go and make it hill, and then it's his break. Doesn't have a shot. Oh, actually, has a 2-9 combo. Plays it two ways. Misses the 2-9 combo. Steven barely got hooked, and then he ended up missing the jump shot and selling out. So
Mike, what's the format? It's races to 9 ball. Is it winter break?
alternate break, triangle rack, standard diamond,
Rack your own?
and you can't do none of that on the one ball.
No fondling?
Yeah, rack your own,
Rack your own.
So, yep. Mm-hmm.
I wonder kind of where Matchroom draws the line in the events that they add as points events, because I know I know Emily's against rack your own, doesn't view it as very professional. However, there's limitations, right? You can't have referees at every event on every table,
Yeah.
so I just wonder, I guess that's a concession that they kind of accepted there.
Yeah, I mean, from a logistical and a financial standpoint, I get it. This being added at the last minute, okay, fair enough. But I wouldn't expect it to go and see it the same way next year. I'll say that. I don't think that professionals should be allowed to rack for themselves. I just don't. So
I was thinking about this, and with the Matchroom events and the CSI events, we're seeing more and more referees needed in pool. Like, is this even something worth talking about? I mean, do we need like referee training programs? Talk about referee compensation? Like, it seems like it's going to be a thing. Oh, there goes Mike. Okay, great. I was trying to get his feedback on that one. Oh, anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Joey Ryan. I'm actually on lunch break out here in the Phoenix area. Molina Mike is on site at the Super Billiards Expo. He is back in. I don't know why he left, but Mike, we were talking about referees, man. Are we going to need like a whole like referee training program, referee compensation? What's going on, man? What do you think? Oh, I can't hear you. He's dogging it. Oh, I knew we couldn't trust him with this. Oh, he's out again. He's coming back. Yeah, so 8 Ball Runout has a comment here that refs are treated like garbage. It's hard work. I'm thinking about this even in other types of sports. I got try to bring Mike back in. He froze up again. He's got bad connection. He's 0 out of 10 right now. Let's see if we can get it working. But yeah, even like my kids playing soccer, it's hard to find good referees right now just because of the fact that, referees are kind of treated bad. So,
can you hear me?
yes,
Okay,
you
we're
left me in my
successful.
time of need. Hey,
Yeah, I
Pinozo's
mean,
in here. What's up, Pinozo?
I think yeah, I think it's all a numbers game, right? Because there's not enough money to go and pay them. There's not enough money to go and compensate them. There's not enough money to go and train them. But I do not think players should be racking for themselves. There's too many rack mechanics out there for professionals, and maybe you get a pass if it's 128. There's 70 something, So I don't know, but I would guess. Here's my thing. I would assume, and we will have Emily on at some point in the next few days. I would assume that as next year comes around, they're going to be more stringent as far as what parameters you have to go and be in order to be a matchroom points event. Whereas maybe this year they were more flexible in order to get more guys on board, right? More promoters, more big events. Where I think next year they'll be like, it has to be this format, so that way there's consistency. Because here's the thing, Joey, if you're going to go and have players that are going to be racking their own, and you're going to have those variations in there, where does it end?
Yeah.
And if that's the argument, hell, you might as well throw 10 ball in there. And I know it's kind of a reach, but it's like, at what point are the rules supposed to be as is? Does that make
Well,
sense?
look, take an event like this. If Corey Doole's in this event and it's rack your own 9 ball, he goes from being like, maybe somewhere middle of the pack to, hey, he's got a good shot. He's got a good shot to go real deep in this thing because of just his knowledge of the rack. And even without fingering the balls, that actually might give him more of an advantage because he can roll them up there, see the gaps, and know what's going to happen. Where other players, they can manipulate the rack to the point where it's going to happen, but they're sitting there tweaking the balls and doing
I,
stuff.
I can tell you this: players can go and get, I don't want to say as good of an outcome, but close to it when it comes to adjusting other balls besides the one ball. So, meaning that they've adapted, to the rules of saying you're not going to be able to touch the one anymore. Well, you know what? They can go and adjust the other balls in that rack in order to get more or less what they need to get the outcome that they want. So it's like it's the same thing, you
Yeah.
know. And I just don't think that pros should be pros should be racking for themselves. I just don't. But I get it from a financial standpoint, like I said. But we'll see how it is going to be next year. I think this event has a lot of potential on the pro side of it. Not that it's not great, because it's phenomenal, but I think it's got a potential to be just a blockbuster of an event with players from all over the world. But there's got to be enough time, consistency, the main thing, because if you're gonna have, like, to me, a player being able to rack themselves is a pretty drastic, you know, difference compared to other matchroom events. Like,
So Pinozzo chimed in and said, for a ref, all they need to know how to do is rack the balls. You agree with that?
say that again.
For a ref, like to train a ref, they really only need to know how to rack the balls.
If it was just that simple, right?
I
I
don't
mean,
think it
like,
is because
I don't
look
think
at
so
the.
either.
Okay, so I've been playing pool for decades, and when somebody has a money match and they roll up and the cue ball's like a centimeter or less away from the object ball, and they look at me and they're like, "Can you call this hit?" I'm like, "I don't want to call that hit,"
Of course, you don't want
because
to be that guy.
yeah, I don't want to be that guy. And it's like sometimes it's ambiguous. It's difficult for me to determine. I know there's the rule if the cue ball rolls past the object ball, it's probably a bad hit. But I just feel like it's a guessing game at that point for some of those calls. So I think there are a few other scenarios where the ref is important to at least have some consistency in terms of how they're going to call the match. I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
we got on this topic.
I don't know either, but we're here nevertheless. So, I mean, it's just like, to me, if you're gonna go and allow them to do that, then you're opening Pandora's box to let them do more things. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll
We'll see
see
how
how it
next year
shakes out.
turns out.
That's a really interesting thing that you could go into the pro arena and you could tweet on any racking controversies or breaking
Well,
controversies. You know,
they're not allowed to go and check the rack, which is great, but you're still having guys that are there for a long period of time. They're they're
Mm,
rolling the back balls.
mm,
They're rolling the
mm,
back balls over. I mean, you know
yeah,
what I'm talking about. So, because they want to get the outcome that they're looking for, right? Whereas a ref, it's kind of just, here you go. And I get some players make the argument that they don't want to be slugged, but you know what? You got just as much of a percentage of a chance yourself getting it as your opponent does. So, and it's, to me, I just equate that as, or I would put in the same category as like a strike zone when it comes to baseball, because it's arbitrary and it's very, whatever your opinion of that zone is, whatever that ref's opinion is on a good rack, and you're going to have human elements in all sports, even calls in football or basketball or whatever. There's judgment calls that are made, right or wrong, that are the human element when it comes to all things sport. And I don't think pool is any different, because for me, I'd rather have, and it sounds terrible because I'm not the one paying all the money to go and get it, so I just want to say that, like, pay the money to go and enter and travel and all those things, but it adds a randomness and just the human element when it comes to the game of pool. Whereas if you have a template, it's all the same things, the same patterns over and over and over and over again. There is not any randomness or any what I would call pool playing in there. So
yeah. A couple updates on matches. Mike, the Kevin West Rob Saez match is now 7-4. Saez is up. Earl Strickland's up 7-3 on Mike Salerno.
wait a minute,
Uh,
Earl's over there playing, and I'm over here talking to
Yeah, I
you.
don't know what you're doing. Well, get in there and shine your flash on your phone again right now. I'd love to see it. I'd love to.
Yo,
Earl would
he's
just
got jokes.
destroy you. He would
He's got
destroy
jokes.
you. He would be like, "Who is this clown?"
I'm surprised they don't
Somebody
like
would
lock
whisper.
down the arena when Earl's playing, because God forbid.
Somebody, I could see it now. You shine the flash. Earl sees it. He's like, "Who is that goofball?" And
Oh,
somebody's like, "That's Molina Mike." He's like,
I
"Molina,
was
what?"
I was mortified when that happened. And luckily, BJ was the one that was shooting the ball, but luckily his back was towards where the camera was. So I don't think it affected anybody in there. But I mean, it could have been really bad, like really,
Hey,
really bad. And I wasn't proud. It was not one of my prouder moments, that's
BJ
for
would give
sure.
you the business too. Let's just be honest about that. BJ
Hey,
give
listen,
you
he
the
would have
business.
whooped both of our butts at the
I
same
tell you
time.
what, first time I
But it
ever
was
saw him, he
tough.
had that flat top like a Marine. I'm like,
Yeah.
this dude, I'm not gonna
Tell you
cross
what,
him.
I can tell you right now, you do not want that smoke. And
No,
yeah,
I
we'll
don't
try
think
to get
so.
him in though.
Yeah, let's get BJ in there. Hey,
Yeah.
second round on the loser side, a really good player is going to go home, either Justin Martin or Stephen Holm. So
Oh boy,
kind of
yeah,
a tough matchup there so early in
great
the
matchup,
tournament.
man.
Yeah. looking through, there's a few other really good players.
It's kind of brutal
Johnny
because
Mills on the
there's a lot
loser
of
side.
like I think there's still a lot of dead money out there, and for those two guys to be playing each other at that point in the tournament,
Yeah.
you know,
Like, here's a good
that's
example.
rough.
Here's a good example. Loser side match: Edward Brooks versus Robert Hart. Rob Hart. I heard Rob didn't show up for his first match. I don't know if he's there or not, but let's say that's a forfeit, right? Then Edward Brooks advances to play Frankie Hernandez, who also forfeited his first match. I don't know if he's planning to be there or not. So
How sick is that,
you'll
dude?
be into
I
the
mean,
final. Yeah, you'll be into the. Yeah, it's crazy.
wow,
So
wow.
yeah,
Oh,
and
Zen
then
mode says
at this.
Buddy Hall's in the building. Hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you, buddy, but yeah, Buddy Hall is here, and he's actually, ironically enough, Joey, where were we at in Vegas? Where by
In
what
the
area were we at?
we
Who
were
were we next to in Vegas?
off the rail.
Okay, well, if I pan over to my left, I'm right next to Off the Rail again.
No
Ironically enough,
way.
I
Love those
swear,
guys.
yeah, they're
Oh
fantastic. I
man,
said I know them. Anyway, Buddy Hall was in there, and we're gonna get Buddy Hall in here. So we're gonna do an interview with him at some point in the next few days as well. Legend. So I'm very excited about that.
that's awesome. Well, look, Mike. Here's the deal. I got to get back to work in a minute. Uh, let me know. Shoot me a message when you got a fish on. You know, like, hey, fish on. 5 minute warning. And if I can make it, I'll join it with you. If not, you just bring them up. You do the interview. Life will be good, man.
We're gonna figure it out. All right, buddy. We'll see you
Don't forget
guys.
to tweet. Don't forget to tweet.
Oh my God. Okay, Twitter's coming up. Stay tuned. Stay on your heels. Later.
Thanks.